Under the chill twilight that gripped Los Angeles in the aftermath of Luna Nozawa's tragic passing, the halls of grief and guilt echoed with hushed sobs as John Finn Finnegan, his eyes swollen and vacant, sat slumped against the floral wallpaper of the Forrester Medical Wing, clutching the single red scarf his daughter had woven for Luna only weeks before. At his side knelt Sheila Carter, her weathered face streaked with tears and regret, her hands trembling as she pressed them against Finn's shoulders in a silent plea for forgiveness that even she feared might never come. Nearby, in a rare gesture of familial solidarity, Lee Finnegan, newly bereft father, grief-stricken husband, and lifelong outsider to the Carter-Forrester-Spencer dynasties, stood with his head bowed, uncharacteristically silent beneath the vaulted ceiling, the weight of Luna's absence pressing like a vice around his ribcage. The three of them, Finn, the man of science and savior to so many, Sheila, the mother cast into villainy only to rise again through sacrifice, and Lee, the gentle soul whose love for Luna had been pure and unyielding, formed a broken triangle of sorrow, their grief a whispered liturgy in a world that had turned suddenly cruel and relentless. Each tended a private wound. Finn, the guilt of surgeries that had ended not in miracles, but in tragedy. Sheila, the reckoning with sins that had shadowed her every step and now paved the path to this moment of mournful reconciliation. Lee, the newness of a father's heartbreak, his first taste of loss harsher than any enemy's bullet could impart. Together, they bore witness to the enormity of Luna's death. An event that shattered the fragile peace built upon whispered secrets and fragile alliances, and yet none felt prepared for the revelation that would soon erupt into the open like a star collapsing into a black hole. Poppy Nozawa, Luna's own mother, was hosting a lavish gala tonight at Il Giardino, the city's most exclusive Italian restaurant, under a pretense of honoring Luna's memory, but in truth to distract from the one secret Luna alone had carried in her heart. As the trio sat in somber vigil, the first invites for Poppy's celebration of life lay scattered like fallen petals on the mahogany desk beside them. Each embossed card bore Luna's silhouette and a flourish of silver script, a promise of charity auctions, candlelit toasts, and stirring eulogies. Lee's jaw clenched as he stared at the invitation, each promise of opulent remembrance stinging like an insult. How dare Poppy divert attention away from the raw, unfiltered anguish of Luna's final hours into a spectacle of silk gowns, crystal chandeliers, and socialites vying to outdo one another in generous donations? Did Poppy truly believe she could sanitize her grief in the same moment she erased the truth that only Luna knew, an act of betrayal cold enough to freeze the blood of all who loved her? Finn rose unsteadily, smoothing the back of his hand across his eyes. He felt sickened at the thought of Luna's name being co-opted by the woman who had borne her, the woman responsible now, he feared, for orchestrating a facade that might bury the child's last secret for good. Sheila, ever observant, noticed his gaze linger on the glittering envelope and laid a gentle hand on his arm. "You know Poppy," she murmured, voice raw. "She's desperate. But desperate people do desperate things. We need to be there, if only to see what she's hiding." Lee, whose dignity had always been tempered by politeness and restraint, nodded once, a flicker of steely resolve igniting in his eyes. "Then we go," he said, voice low. "But I'll not stand by while she parades Luna's name as a shield for her own sins." That evening, Illinois Giardino twinkled like a fortress of illusion on the edge of Beverly Hills. Candles flickered in wrought iron candelabras, their light dancing over white linen tablecloths and the gleaming silver of servers bearing platters of prosciutto and mozzarella. A live string quartet wove a melancholy aria through the air, the mournful notes drifting among clusters of well-dressed guests exchanging condolences one moment and gossip the next. Poppy Nozawa floated through the room in a gown of midnight blue, her posture regal, her smile flawlessly composed as she greeted attendees with calico warmth. She accepted condolences with a delicate nod, pressing her palm to her throat as if stifling grief into silence. Every so often, she paused before a gilded easel displaying Luna's final photographs, images of her daughter laughing in sunlit fields, dancing along the shoreline, embracing her father. Each framed moment a testament to the life Poppy claimed she would carry forward. Yet beneath Poppy's emerald eyes lurked a flicker of something else, watchfulness, calculation, the kind of steely glare that made Finn's spine prickle with suspicion. Inside the cavernous dining room, Finn, Sheila, and Lee slipped through a service corridor, their entrance unnoticed by most, but observed keenly by a pair of almond-eyed attendants whose silence rang louder than any greeting. Lee's chest burned with the memory of cradling Luna through her final convulsions, the terror in her eyes as the monitors flatlined, and the dagger of betrayal as he heard the whispered rumors that Poppy had known more about Luna's enemy than she revealed, that the gala was a smokescreen for a darker truth. As they neared the central chamber where Poppy was scheduled to speak, the trilling of the quartet gave way to polite applause. She steps up to a crystal podium, the pale blue light catching her shimmered gown, and the room falls into an expectant hush. Poppy clears her throat, her voice steady as she addresses the gathering. "Thank you all for coming to honor my beloved Luna. Though she is no longer with us, her light continues to shine through the kindness and generosity of this community. Tonight, we raise funds for a foundation in her name, to grant other families the hope that Luna brought to ours." Her words flow like silk, each syllable polished, but Finn feels a jolt of disbelief. The foundation, he'd heard, would be a front to funnel money into escrow accounts linked to offshore investments, a project Luna had opposed. Her righteous outrage fueling late-night arguments between mother and daughter. As Poppy's speech crescendos into applause, Lee grits his teeth so hard his jaw aches, gloved hand curling into a fist at his side. Sheila's fingers tighten on Finn's arm, but neither speaks. They wait until the crowd disperses around tables laden with champagne flutes, the clink of glass a call to frivolity that makes their hearts ache with rage. Then, as guests lean in for morsels of conversation over lobster risotto, Finn leans toward Lee's ear. "We need to find her office," he whispers. She won't slip away while people stare at her face, but her private study, that's where she'll keep what Luna took from her. Lee nods, scanning Poppy's back as she laughs with a senator and a renowned designer. "I saw 2 doors off the VIP lounge. One of them might be the one." They slip away in tandem, Sheila falling in behind like a shadow, all 3 hearts pounding with the knowledge that uncovering Poppy's crime could change everything or provoke a panic that erupts into violence. Navigating the labyrinth of back corridors and wine cellars, they pause before a solid oak door engraved with the restaurant's emblem. Beyond it lies Poppy's private parlor, a room she had once used to shelter Luna from prying eyes. Finn braces his shoulder, presses the latch, it's unlocked. They slip inside to find a small library of rare books and photo albums, rosewood shelves gleaming. But one item alone captures Finn's breath, a single photograph pinned above the mantel, Luna, pistol in hand, training at a firing range, her expression fierce and determined. Underneath, scrawled in Poppy's hand, are the words, "She pulled the trigger to protect us." The revelation strikes Finn like a thunderclap. Had Luna confessed to Poppy that she killed someone to save her family? Or worse, that Poppy herself had ordered Luna to carry out vengeance? His blood runs cold. Lee edges forward, brows furrowed. "Why would Luna have to learn to shoot unless someone taught her?" he murmurs. Sheila's mouth twists in anger and fear. "Because the monster who did this to her could still be out there." At that moment, the door swings open. Poppy stands framed in the threshold, her face pale but determined, a slender pistol in her hand. The guests below laugh, unaware of this microcosm of truth and betrayal unfolding above them. Poppy's gaze flicks from the photograph to her stunned audience. Her voice, when she speaks, is unexpectedly calm. "I didn't want you to see this," she says. eyes on Finn. But I cannot let you silence me again. Finn steps forward, fists clenched. What did Luna know? He demands. Poppy's grip tightens on the gun. She knew I killed the man who was going to take everything from her. Poppy replies, her tone ice. Her father was going to destroy our lives. He forced her into dangerous secrets. I ended it before he ever had the chance. Lee's face pales as the weight of her confession sinks in. Had Poppy silenced Luna to protect herself, or had they both been complicit in a cover-up that Luna's death now secures forever? Sheila stumbles, shock and disgust warring in her features. You murdered someone, she breathes. Below, a commotion erupts as the DJ's record skips, the music stalling. A guest looks up, spotting Poppy's silhouette in the window above. Someone gasps, then points. Within seconds, the gala's hall is a whirl of confusion as staff rush to the staircase. Guests spill into the corridors, and the police car lights flash outside. Finn instinctively reaches for Poppy's wrist, wrenching the gun from her hand. It clatters to the floor, and as the three of them stare at the fallen weapon, a tangible symbol of all the secrets Luna took to her grave, Lee whispers, voice raw with betrayal and sorrow. You used Luna's name to bury your crime. Poppy's eyes glisten with tears as she looks from Lee to Finn to Sheila, the weight of her actions crashing down in that suspended moment. I did it for her, she insists, voice trembling. I did it for us. But as the flashing sirens grow louder, and the chandelier above shivers with the movement of panicked guests, Finn realizes with a leaden certainty that Luna's death cannot bury the truth, it only magnifies it. The crime that Poppy so long hid, the secret only Luna knew, now stands exposed to the world, a testament to the tangled web of love and violence that binds their family. And in that charged stillness, as the police storm the stairwell and the echoes of Luna's laughter and Lynn's tears converge, the question burns fiercer than any gunshot. Did Poppy truly pull the trigger herself? Or was Luna's death the tragic culmination of a cycle of secrets she could never escape? Only the severed bond between confession and consequence will answer that, as the night closes in around them and the shattered remnants of Luna's life and the sins that slew her languish forever in the glare of justice.